What's about to happen, Nathan?
It's about to transform at the summit.
Woo-hoo.
Hello everyone. How are we doing? So welcome. This is Malibu's annual Poetry Summit. The theme today is transformation. For those of you who do not know me, and a reminder for those who do, my name is Nathan Hassall, and the current Poet Laureate of Malibu. So, why transformation? Think about the last time you truly felt different after an experience. What was the experience? How did it feel? What emerged for you? Today, we're diving into the deeply experienced phenomenon of transformation. And I'd like to start by sharing a personal story with you that reflects this theme. When I moved to Malibu from England in the first month of 2018, I encountered drastic levels of change. First, I moved to a new place, a country I'd spent some time in before, but to a city where I knew no one except the girl who I would live with and who I now call my wife, Rachel Hassall, who's sitting over there. Congratulations and condolences, Rachel. We had just finished graduate school at the University of Kent in Canterbury in England. She was studying organisational psychology and I creative writing, which for all of you who knows us makes perfect sense in this dynamic. She's organised, I'm chaotic. But it was me who devised the master plan. I was going to work at a cafe in England for a month, save enough money for a one-way ticket, and work out what I was going to do once I got there. So I went armed with a full suitcase, a romantic impulse, and the sort of blind optimism that underpins the American dream. Besides, I had an American passport through my New Jersey-born mother, and Rachel didn't have a UK one, so it was on me to do the chasing. We were living up a canyon next door to my future mother, father, and brother-in-law. Our place was positioned next to a stream which trickled and flowed in between two giant hills greened with succulents and oak trees. At night, I had my best clients just outside the window. Coyotes yipping and howling, owls barking from their branches, the moon spilling for our translucent white curtains and onto our sleeping faces. Often, I awoke to birdsong and frog chorus which resonated through the street. This, I knew, was a deeply magical place. Sadly, it did burn down and we are still rebuilding. But before I moved, I had a leaving party in England. A friend I had invited, who had reliably come to these sorts of things, didn't show up. Days later, I was taking a shower. As water poured through my then short brown hair and down my face, a different friend of mine who was staying over a few days knocked on the bathroom door. "Go away," I said, thinking he was playing a joke on me. He knocked again. "Go away," I repeated. "I'm in the shower." But then he opened the door without invitation and said, "No, you need to look at your email," before pulling the door to and waiting outside. With my hands still wet and the shower still running, I stepped out of the stream and grabbed my phone, trying to press the screen through the small beads forming on it. I had an email from a friend's workmate. "I'm sorry to tell you this, but our friend John has passed away." John was a mutual friend of mine and Rachel's, so I got out of the shower and rang her over and over. Due to the time difference, She was asleep in the canyon house I would soon call home. Eventually, I got hold of her and I shared the news. I moved to the States only days after hearing of our friend's passing. While up the canyon, and when Rachel had landed her first job after graduating, I spent a lot of time alone. Although I landed a few freelance book editing gigs, progress was dripping slowly. However, there's one thing I did do. I wrote and I wrote and I wrote, trying to integrate the experience of moving countries, being away from my family, grieving the loss of a friend, and also celebrating my love with Rachel and the promise of a new life. About a month into writing and editing what became a long poem about the length of a chapbook, so about 30 pages, I had a dream. I'm standing by the sink. Through the kitchen window, my friend John appeared, face slimmer than I remembered, his light brown hair softly curled. It was then the dream turned lucid. I was aware it was a dream and I had a modicum of control over it. So I head for the front door, knowing that there's not much time. "Don't you dare go anywhere," I said. "I have questions." He follows me into the kitchen, which was, true to dream form, transformed from being full of air to being full of water. "How are you?" I asked. "Where are you?" He laughs. "I'm good. I like it where I am. There are girls and there is coffee. What else would I need?" At this moment, the electric kettle flicks itself on and the whole room starts to boil. I wake up and roll out of bed that morning, and a sense of peace drapes over me. Through all these challenges and transformations of moving countries and grieving, I'd managed, by tackling these things head on through writing poetry, through art, and through conversations with Rachel and friends and family, to move forward, which culminated in where I am now, today, talking to you about things like this dream. May our friend continue to rest in peace. So transformation can come in many forms. First, it is inevitable. One moment is always converging into the next moment. We and everything around us transforms constantly. Each day, out of all of our almost 30 trillion cells, 330 billion are replaced. We mostly do not notice these processes as they take place beyond our perception. And sometimes a sudden transformation occurs, spontaneous spiritual awakenings, the unexpected loss of a loved one or friend, or an action we take after facing a new truth, or something more modern after going viral. Take our community, for example, which, alongside many others, has experienced significant change through the recent Franklin and Palisades fires, which devastated homes, lives, restaurants, businesses, schools, churches, and displaced communities. This is one of the reasons why community and transformative gatherings such as this are so important. Some transformations, however, are more consciously ordained, listening to or reading a poem, interacting with a piece of art, theatre or dance, or listening to music, and all other expressive modalities have the potential to transform us. But it's essential we open ourselves up to the possibility, to be willing, to be vulnerable. So poetry can transform our relationship to ourselves, emotions, thoughts, intuitions, and can alter our relationships to the world around us and allow us to access and express emotions that we so often bury. You'll know when you experience a change from art, as you'll feel it in your body. Your heartbeat can quicken, you get goosebumps, you can get a head high, your breath rhythm changes, your spine can pulse, and more. So today, I ask you to continue to open your heart and mind and ears to the music, poetry, and art that will be showcased, and allow it to challenge, inspire, and delight you, hopefully, into a transformative experience. One thing I can say with confidence is that the person you walked into the room as will have transformed into a different person when you leave. Only you can know how slight or drastic that change is. So once again, welcome everyone to Malibu's annual Poetry Summit Transformation. So, let's get the performances underway. To help further open us up, our first performance today is a meditation and sound bath led by a talented singer, yoga instructor, and meditation facilitator. When I first went to one of her sessions, I was instantly struck by her ability to enchant and calm through the playing of crystal singing bowls and effortlessly harmonise them with the poise, skill and depth of a verbal dancer. Please welcome to the stage Heather Goldman.
Pleasure to be here. It's nice to see you all and connect with you all. It's also my pleasure to help you guys come into more of a meditative state of mind, a more peaceful inner world and mental world and emotional space. So if we could begin by softly closing your eyes and relaxing your hands either on the sides of your seat or on your knees. And just take a nice deep breath in through your nose and exhale out through the mouth. Again, deep breath in through the nose. And exhale out through the mouth. You're going to begin by bringing your awareness to the top of your head. Notice how it feels.
Thank you, Heather. Next up to the podium is a lady who's been ever present in the poetry community way before I was here and has been a frequent, reliable face at all readings and workshops. Well read in so many subjects, including music, psychology, physics, and of course poetry. She recently released a book with her son, Chris, called Atmosphere, Infinite, Malibu. This book has photographs from Chris from their house on a hill that overlooks the ocean and captures transforming, colourful clouds, sunsets, nebula, and the moon. And they're accompanied by her deeply moving poems. Please welcome Charlotte Ward.
Hello, everyone. Tomorrow, we will all live in the house of tomorrow. Drink of the same spring, sleep in the same bed, outlast the sorrow. In dark energy, greed will dissolve. No need to trouble about errors in judgment. Magnificence will evolve in deep space. Outside our domain, longing will cease to distress shifting forms of being. As distances decrease toward a cosmic membrane, though the room will have changed, the prophecy will hold. So the mystery, what has rearranged, will remain forevermore beyond intelligence, beyond myth and prayer, and love even. But you, I would know you anywhere.
Thank you, Charlotte. Trained at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art in London, our next performer has an MFA in playwriting from Goddard College and won the Thomas Lux Poetry Fellowship at the Palm Beach Poetry Festival. I met this person during my second term as Poet Laureate and was struck by her ability to write and perform poems that resonate through me on the spot. Notable for the power in her voice and poise in her words, please welcome Julie Daniels.
Can you hear me? Woohoo! So I'm going to send this poem out with love to beloved Malibu. It's called Tenderness. Hold us as we struggle to rise through burning skies and parched earth where now only embers fly. Hold us for the tree my father planted when I was born, now slashed away on a stranger's devastated, crushed driveway. Hold us for homes that housed family dinners and birthdays, pencil marks on the wall when we were this tall and that. Hold us as we watch helplessly the burning of our parks, the play swing and monkey bars, on this now no one's land. Hold us while we weep for beloveds lost, schools and pets, almighty everywhere. We can't take any more of this test. Hold us, fellow beings, across this big and gracious land. We're your sisters and your brothers who in December put strawberries in your hands. Hold us in your darkened theaters on screens of silver. We show you all your precious might-be's. We are gentle beings, just like you, so much more than glitz and glam. We are brittle and broken in our desert by the sea. Oh, do a rain dance with us for Mother Earth and Father Sky on Tongva land and Malibu, over every valley and every peak, and see the angels fly. They fly with love and tenderness and embrace our shattered bones. They remind us it's all of our city, our now, our forever home.
Thank you, Julie. Before I go any further, I'd like to make a couple of announcements of some special guests in the audience. First are the ones who flew all the way here from England, who have been there for every transformation in my life so far. The two people you can either thank or blame for my existence. Please give it up for my parents, Paul and Sharon Hassall. And to my in-laws who have basically adopted me as a second son and brother and have supported me throughout my time in Malibu with the Poet Laureateship and all the crazy poetry projects and more their daughter Rachel and I come up with, Sonia, Richard and David Kraft. On we go. Next up is a talented multidisciplinary artist known for a stylish dress sense and a call to live a non-ordinary life. She has also been ever present at poetry events and recently released her first book, Cotton Ball in the Wind, that says no way to a traditional and palatable life. Please welcome Shifra Wild.
Thank you, Nathan. And that was amazing for Heather. That was so beautiful. I appreciate that. And Call to Peace, you're amazing. Everybody's amazing. You're all amazing. Okay, I'll be quiet now. The dog is amazing. A secret seed. No one tells the oyster that beauty will come from the wound. An irritant invades, uninvited, abrasive. And the shell responds, not with violence, but with layers of quiet, gleaming resistance. Over time, what once hurt becomes a pearl. In the stillness of a cocoon, the caterpillar dissolves. Not rests, not sleeps, dissolves. Everything it once was melts into something unrecognizable. And only in that formless dark can wings begin. Transformation is not a blooming. It is a breaking. It is saying goodbye to the child who dreamed, to the adolescent who ached, to the adult who yearned, to the older adult who endured. It is standing still while life peels you open, layer by tender layer, revealing the core you didn't know was there. You don't realize it's beautiful until you are no longer in the middle of the breaking. Until you look down at the pieces and realize they weren't discarded. They were stepping stones, each version of you preparing the way. The pearl is not born perfect. The butterfly was once a body, stripped of form and certainty. And you are no different. Each ache was architecture. Each scar, a line in the blueprint. Each surrender, a seed of becoming who you are. And now you shine, not because you escaped it, but because you persevered within it.
Thank you, Shifra. Next up to the podium is a lady who took a break from a years-long practice of spirituality meetups to come celebrate poetry and transformation with us here today. This performer has so many stories that showcase her resilience, including having survived 2 brain surgeries and having to learn to walk and talk again at 30 years old. Now, she strolls the beach daily and teaches yoga to special needs individuals and others. Please welcome Debbie Pommer-Sigel.
Hi. This is called Blues. Blues, you are my familiar. Your slow, sweet rhythms and low moaning bliss are felt in my bones and cause my body to sway. Blues, your honey is nectar I crave. My body needs to move and you do the job with savoring bliss. Blues, you feed my bones and fill my fluids with vibrations only you can do. Blues, as Kevmo noted, I feel you from my fingers to my toes, and when I move my hips and part my lips, you know I'm feeling fine. Blues, I bow to you and praise thee with the prayer that only my body can express. Blues, my life is richer because of you. My soul is nourished because of you. Blues, you are my familiar, and I am grateful for your soulfulness you have filled my body and my life with. Blues, you are my ever-loving muse. Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. Our next performer is a poet I've got to know so much better in recent years, and I recently had the pleasure of interviewing him on the Poetry Vessel podcast. He's a great champion and communicator of poetry in the Southern California poetry scene, hosting events in Camarillo, and is the director and co-founder of the Ventura County Poetry Festival. We share a kinship with England, where he spent 10 years furthering his education, including getting a PhD in poetry from the University of Birmingham. His chapbook, Saculum, was published by Bear Fiction in 2018. Please welcome Dr. Sean Coletti.
Keep calling me that. I'm going to have to bring a stethoscope to readings. I know I'm in good company when I say that I had a life before poetry and I've had one since. This begins with an epigraph from Mary Oliver's A Poetry Handbook. Everyone knows that poets are born and not made in school. I was conceived when I was 17. My parents were John Dunn and Randy Cox, a high school teacher 3 years past retirement. Two fathers who got together one weekday first period and spoke the anticipation of me into existence with goo-goo spondies and gaga trochees. I wasn't born until years later, unsure if this would be just another flirtation, another thing to try on and see how it fits. The birth itself was unceremonious, like dumping a fish tank into the Pacific and sniggering, "Good luck." My fathers surrendered me to the world, just as their parents had done for them, and the world fed me infatuation, sickly sweet until my palate could appreciate the more subtle tastes of genuine love. And the world fed me grief, and somehow got it into her head that this had become my favorite meal. And so she fed me more and more until it felt too impolite to correct her. My first seminars took place at house parties, my cohort chucking ping pong balls into red cups with the precision of end dashes and end stops. I lived off takeaway from Pushkin's and gained the freshman 15 not in bounds of weight around the waist, but in episodes of existential dread. My dietitian suggested that I try incorporating more Japanese, where the fat was always trimmed and the images fresh. You could say I graduated, but I can't remember. All I do remember from that crisp June afternoon was stopping by the lake, seeing a goose alternate between dunking her head and then raising it to the sun behind the clouds and thinking I could die and be happy having seen this. But instead, I lived through adolescence, my limbs having finally grown out of bony line breaks and first thought, best thought enamel falling from my mouth, replaced by sturdier, edited thoughts. And finally, into adulthood I stepped. All the pieces of me purposely untitled. I expect to know them later, at the end of all things, when I might die happy and be born again, as the first line of a couplet, searching for the other line to complete it.
Thank you, Sean. Before I go any further, I'd like to give another shout out. First, to the organisation that the band is also named. A Call to Peace is a band and a non-profit organisation. It activates the power of art, music and other forms of expression to amplify the voices and work of non-profits fighting for human rights, a sustainable planet, equality and peace. Through their events, they don't preach peace, they create an experience of it. A powerful call to remember and reclaim our inherent peaceful nature and urging us to feel it and make it a daily reality. So first we have Ron Wagner, who has played on the film and TV soundtracks for Salam Bombay, Star Trek Voyager, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and many more. Ron. And over there we have Federico Ramos, who has recently featured at the Oscars ceremony performing songs from the award-winning films Coco and Encanto, which accumulated 3 Oscars and a Grammy, Federico Ramos. And lastly, we have Eduardo Del Signore, who's been nominated for a Grammy, received 2 Independent Music Awards, played at the World Economic Forum in New York and many other places, and brings focus to his function as president of the A Call to Peace Foundation. Eduardo Del Signore. A Call to Peace. Let's keep going. Next up is a performer who was born in a trunk to a musical theatre family and became a professional dancer at 17. She helps people write their memoirs in her workshops and believes in the healing power of in the healing magic of writing and sharing stories. I think she's attended every event I've hosted with this city, and she frequently offers assistance and feedback when she knows that I need it. She's a proud mother of 2 sons, Elijah and Jacob, who are here in the audience today. So please welcome Tracy Katz and clap for her sons.
Okay. All right. Different. We are a different people 1,000 times a day, weaving out of slumber into misty fog of morning. Fading dream state slowly slips into tick of the too much clock. Caffeine brings forgetting or remembering, urging one towards the day, the to-do list. How important is it? Hope leans in like songbird or glint of monarch landing on lavender lilacs. Bees live short lives, I am told. Is that why they are so busy escorting their queen? Who will escort me at this time? Maybe higher ground is enough. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. The next person will introduce himself and will momentarily transform into performer from host. Please consider making me feel as welcomed as I already do. Okay. This poem is called A Californian Forest of Gold and Shadow. The whiskey sap seeps drunkenly down the scaly palm trunk. It's late afternoon. The orange mouth is corked in its blue dome. It slurs through the leaves, liquid tongue dripping onto fallen skeletal fronds, spilling puddles of shade across the ground like the broken base of a dark glass. There's newness coming, like her words sit effortlessly, syllable upon syllable. Inside the wrist's long vein, the end of the old ebbs, blood rolling maple thick into the emergent. But outside this body, the dew, an unspoken idea, glistens on each grass blade like a tooth. Though the light each bead refracts can be brought inwards, So I take a candle from the edge of this bright field through the gateway where gnats swirl around its soft golden arrow. How it must feel to all those trees when a flame licks against a cheekbone. That sense of not being alone, an eyelash of fog trembling, a spirit lengthening its back from the deep like a cat. But it's you, my love, a swirling dress drifting over downed leaves, stirring each up in a sigh before they rest again. When close, we take hold, chest pressing chest, heartbeat cooling into heartbeat through each thinning membrane. We could go deeper into that fleshy poem that stretches over the cloaked side of the rising moon. That borrowed light, that silver rain which centuries ago soaked the still earth, called a redwood seed to plume itself like a thigh bone and break into the 10,000 things it now is, boughs soaring high above us. And nestled inside the shadow of that breathing tower, we wait as the wind moans softly as a great snow, our skins crawling with goosebumps. Under its silent weight, a branch snaps, plummets over our heads like a collapsing star and erupts into trillions upon trillions of question marks. Next up comes a very special and key person in this community. When I was appointed Poet Laureate, this person taught me that the position was one of service to the community and the importance of fostering a poetic sensibility amongst all. She's helped me edit so many of my poems, including the one I just read you, and has been a guiding force for my poetic, personal and spiritual development. She asks, without nourishing the faculties of dreaming and imagining, how can a more perfect union be built? Please welcome the 4th Poet Laureate of Malibu to the stage, Dr. Anne Buxey.
Where do you think you're going? My daughter asks as I hustle toward the hotel lobby. I don't answer. Only the wind knows, the life-giving breath of spirit ever urging. How else could the cosmos continue to swing, or galaxies cohere in their fateful order? How else the fissions and fusions that yield energy and water? Outside my window, a breeze stirs the cottonwood tree. Leaves shiver. A wave of fertile fluff floods the air, rising and falling, floating in a spring shower, scurrying across asphalt, heaped on curbs' shoulders, drawn down dusty lanes into the creek. I rise and fall, tack from worry to doubt. I fight the current. Hurry, scurry. Where do I think I'm going? In the Antarctica winter of 1934, Admiral Byrd's breath crystallized. He listened, felt the silence, the harmony, the strain of a perfect chord. Instantly, he knew he was part of it, would never drift beyond the scope of this love and care. That's where I think I'm going, Mi'iha, there, without passwords or usernames, spinning through water and fire and flesh, through doubts and perplexities and hotel lobbies. In time, I will leap from this worn body, transformed by another stroke, agile, blithe, and powerful, no longer fighting the currents, filled with another wind. There, in a far destiny, I am alive, loved. There, Mi'iha, where else?
Thank you, Anne. Next up, we have our featured reader for this event. He is the author of In Praise of Late Wonder, New and Selected Poems, published by Gunpowder Press in 2024, and 3 other books of poems, including Scar and Flower, which was the finalist for the 2020 Northern California Book Award. Born in Korea and adopted to the United States at 10 months, he lives and teaches in Fresno, California. He is the 10th and current Poet Laureate of the state of California and the first Asian American to serve in this role. Please welcome to the stage Lee Herrick.
Thank you very much. Now, before I read just a few poems, I wanted to take a minute of my 10 minutes or so and say a few thank yous. One, just for the beautiful music, Call to Peace. Thank you. It's an honor. And to the marvelous poets who have read and who will read after me, it's an honor to be with you. And I believe there are some younger poets reading, so I'm looking forward to that as well. So thank you. And thank you all for being here. And, I wanted to see how loud we could applaud for the poetry and the life, the energy, the passion for the community, and for bringing us all here together. Thank you, Nathan, very much. Yes. It's a lot of work doing what he does. So I'm going to read, I think 3 or 4, probably 3. My California. Here, an olive votive keeps the sunset lit, and the Korean 20-somethings talk about hyphens, graduate school, and good pot. And a group of 4 at a window table in Carpinteria discuss the quality of wines in Napa Valley versus Lodi. Here, in my California, the streets remember the Chicano poet whose songs still bank off Fresno's beer-soaked gutters and almond trees in partial blossom. Here, in my California, we fish out long noodles from the pho with such accuracy, you'd know we've done this before. In Fresno, the bullets tire of themselves and begin to pray 5 times a day. In Fresno, we hope for less of the police state and more of a state of grace. In my California, you can watch the sun go down like in your California, on the ledge of the pregnant 22nd century, the one with a bounty of peaches and grapes, red onions and the good salsa, wine and japchae. Here in my California, paperbacks are free. Farmers markets are 24 hours a day and always packed. And the trees and water have no nails in them. The priests eat well. The homeless eat well. Here in my California, everywhere is Chinatown. Everywhere is K-Town. Everywhere is Armenia Town. Everywhere, a little Italy. Less Confederacy. No internment in the valley. Better history texts for the juniors. In my California, free sounds and free touch. Free questions, free answers, free songs from parents and poets, those hopeful bodies of light. Thank you. So I don't know if any of you are word game people, like Scrabble, Wordle, the other ones. I was on a flight once doing the crossword puzzle in front of me in the magazine, in the seat in front of me. And a couple people had started the crossword puzzle. And then I jumped in and tried to finish it. Ended up with a poem. So this is called Flight. The in-flight magazine crossword partially done. A corner begun here, scratched out answers there. One set of answers in pencil, another in the green. And the woman with the green ballpoint knew the all-time hit king is Rose. And the Siem Reap treasure is Angkor Wat. And the woman, perhaps en route to hold her dying mother's hand in Seattle, forgot about death for 10 minutes while remembering her husband's Cincinnati Reds hat while gardening after the diagnosis. Her handwriting was so clean. Maybe she was a surgeon. Maybe a painter. No. What painter wouldn't know 17 down? Diego's love. 5 letters. In a rush, her dying mother's voice came back to her. Or maybe she was a Chinese adoptee, and her first mother's imagined voice said, "Wo ai ni." At 30,000 feet, you focus on 33 across. Asian American classic. The woman. When a stranger in the window seat sees the clue, watches me write in W, and she says, "Warrior." And for a moment, you forget it is your favorite memoir. And she reminds you of lilies or roses, Van Gogh or stems with thorns, art galleries and romantic cities where she is headed, but you should not go. And the flight attendant grazes my shoulder. And the crossword squares, the letters, the chairs and aisles seem so tight in flight, but there is nothing here but room, really. Maybe the next passenger will know what I do not. 64 down, 5 letters, purpose. And why do we remember what we do? We know the buzz of Dickinson's Fly and the number of years in Marquez's Solitude, but some things we will never know, as it should be. Why the body sometimes rumbles like a plane hurtling over southern Oregon. How exactly we fall in love, or if Frida and Maxine Hong Kingston would have loved the same kind of tea. All right. Okay, thank you. I think I'll just read one more. These are from my latest book called In Praise of Late Wonder. And before I read this, I just wanted to echo a few of Nathan's really wonderful comments at the opening of this program about transformation. And I'm a little etymology geek, and I know that the prefix trans means across, or change, or beyond, or moving through. And as Nathan wisely said, we are constantly, and even minutely after this, I know I will be transformed. But the way I often think of that prefix in my life is a transnational, transracial adoptee across countries from Korea at 10 months being raised here in a white family in the East Bay. Transracial, Asian American in a white family. Can be challenging and perplexing, the idea of changing, but invariably, I think, joyful. Sometimes the way through is different for everyone. But this last poem I want to read touches a little bit on that, this idea of joy. So thanks again for having me, Nathan, and I wish you all the very best. This is called Stars. Every now and then, I remember that I was born on the other side of the earth, and it makes sense that I love looking up at the stars. It's such a childish thing to do, like climbing trees or stomping in puddles. But there's some strange pull and simple satisfaction from looking at the stars after all these years. I wonder if a man my age in Korea has the same love. I wonder how the stars relate to a gravitational likelihood that I'll tell my daughter someday about the time in our backyard, swimming in the moonlight, and the world seemed perfect. Or the time I dropped her off at her middle school in Fresno, and before I drove off, she motioned for me to stop, fogged up the window with her breath, and wrote with her finger, "I love you, Dad," with a heart, and the world seemed perfect. That's what it is about the stars. Because they are so many millions of miles away and so still, the immediate chaos or confusion of our lives seems so minor. Even in the daylight, they're right there, imperceptible, but there. Something like faith, or belief, or the wild idea that a deep kind of joy is there for you, even if you have no idea where it is. Thank you.
Can we hear it one more time for Lee Herrick? Next up is a man that got it all started, and someone that took me under his wing when I awkwardly stumbled into the poetry community here back in 2018. A great hiking companion, friend, an expert poet whose work includes poetry collections, children's books, and novels. Please give it up for the man who needs no introduction in his community but is getting one anyway, the first ever Poet Laureate of Malibu, Ricardo Means Ybarra.
Oh, wow. Look at you all. So I also want to thank Mr. Lee Herrick and all the poets that have read and the poets that are going to read. but I get to honor Nathan and Rachel. What an incredible couple, right? I'm going to give you my highest honor the last 2 years has been a howl. Oh. So after I finish, I'm going to invite two of the poetry students up from the 8th grade, Andre and Lola. And last week I got the time to spend some time with them, and they had brought up an entirely new poem. Each one of them had written a new poem for this for us, for the summit. And well, that inspired me as well. So here's my poem. What I have learned from frogs. The bright, glossy, highly saturated, but very tiny poisonous frogs are everyone's favorite. I know enough not to handle them, touch my fingertips to eyes, lips. So why did I step into the street at that particular moment? Why did I step with utter abandon, lighthearted, lightheaded? Why was I so giddy at age 12 with a woman I would never see again? She was my father's lover. We were in Mexico. She was from Canada, and I liked her very much, but knew the moment I stepped off the curb. Madre de Dios, Madre, the middle-aged, helmetless motorcycle driver, said, eyes lifted, while I stared into his, perched miraculously upon the front wheel mudguard, one bright, highly saturated morning. Lola, Andre, are you ready? Andre, I'm going to bring you up first. Come on up. Andre Canova. Andre is a fabulous poet. You will be amazed.
Hello. Today I'm going to read a poem called Nature. The name is pretty self-explanatory. So here we go. The leaves rustle and the wind blows, but us humans hustle to see a show. Over the hill to work at the mill, but you all have to pay the bill of life. Through the water and down by the stream, you swim with your team. So down by the lake, near the snakes, you hear the whispering sounds and you feel the ground of nature. So turn off the screen and feel nature.
Thank you, Andre. Again, Andre. And next we have the fabulous Lola Anderson. Please come on up, Lola. Jolene, Nathan, and I have had the pleasure of working with her since the 5th grade. Yes.
Hi. So before I read, I want to say something that's really, really, really important. In my lifespan, and some other people's, the earth will become a dead wasteland if we stay on this path. Food and water will become scarce. And I need people to know that, even if it's scary, because we can still fix it. And we need to. I love her. Her beauty never fails to astound me, leaving me transfixed, as even the most simple aspects of her are ineffable. She's only grown more with time, always weaving and adapting to each change. Her beautiful flowing waves, swaying with a soothing rhythm. Even her wrath, horrifying, yet with such magnitude and strength that I can't help but respect her for it. She has grown old. Her heart, strong, has begun to falter, not of her own volition, faltering with the burden of time. No, she's been poisoned. Her eyes, once lovely and welcoming, have become glazed over in sickness. The children from which had leached off of her with no knowledge of the toll it took, they are now the ones who must change. Mother Nature deserves that much. I hope that you think about it and you choose to change and tell other people and help us fix what we've done. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Ricardo and our first two students. Next up is a performer with the most infectious enthusiasm I know, which especially translates to the education of children and adolescents in our local schools. She's worked as a poetry teacher in schools for many years, transforming the lives of kids by helping provide them with an early positive poetry experience, something which I believe is so important because so many people tell me they've been put off by poetry because of something that happened in school. She served on Malibu's Poet Laureate committee since its inception in 2016 and has taught me that bursting up and out of my English reserve is sometimes a good thing. Please welcome to the stage Jolynn Regan.
Wow. Thank you all for being here. And Lola, if I could have dreamed up a poet to follow, it would have been you. What an honor it has been to teach you since 5th grade. And thank you to all of our student poets. We have 2 more that are coming. I have to see if JD is in the house. I don't know if he made it, but we have a couple of other student poets. So here we go. Fusing. The fork in the road, polished, shiny, silver or gold. Choices, chances unfold. Skipping down the path less picked, lit by moon and stars in stride. Jasmine dreams smell sticky sweet where no 2 roads collide. Or trudging down the dusty dank, en masse with heathen hordes. Whatever golden disillusion says, life misspent, gorged. I do not flip that copper coin, letting the odds decide. Risking road rage, guts strewn about, scoring raw, bloody hide. I am well on my way of ruby rose glee, hand-picked and plucked, exploring the epic underscore, fused endurance with some luck. Thank you. And now for our incredible 5th grade poet from Miss Coy's class at Malibu Elementary, the one, the only, the guy with the coolest name and the best poetry, Mr. Ezra Allison. Welcome to the stage.
Thank you. My world.
I stare, I look, I see a world. I stare, I look, I see a world of danger, unforgiving in its turning. I stare, I look, I see a world of beauty, raw, unspoken, shimmering. I stare, I look, I see a world divided, a seam in every silence. I stare, I look, I see a world that holds everything, light, ruin, grace. And still, I love it all, every breath, every bruise, every sky. Because when I stare, when I look, when I see, I know the world is also me.
All right. Thank you, Ezra and Jolene. Before we move on, I'd like to thank the City of Malibu for putting on this event, the tireless work of Kristen Zago, Carla Busquez, Amanda Regali, who's now moved on to work elsewhere, Brittany Saleamua, Melanie Carras, Alexandra Elizondo, and all others who have made this possible. Thank you. And I want to thank our sound technicians over there for making the sound of this room so incredible. So a round of applause, please. Right. Next up, we have a singer, a Grammy-nominated artist, two-time Independent Music Award winner, and internationally celebrated dramatic coloratura soprano. When I first heard her sing in a small music shop near Trancas called Malibu Music, my jaw almost fell off its hinges. From operatic power and singing direct from the soul. She's the creator of country opera and the Rocky Mountain Orchestra, a genre-defying ensemble featuring Oscar and Grammy-winning artists. Off stage, she's a committed humanitarian, organising large-scale benefit concerts in partnership with FEMA and Habitat for Humanity to support communities impacted by wildfire disasters. She will be performing with a call to peace. Please welcome Sonia Casarova.
Here's to all of you wonderful, loving human beings. I keep thinking this song came to me like a beam of light, and I keep thinking this belongs to everyone, so maybe it will find a place in your heart. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for running to me and for magnolia trees, honeybees for the same, scenery all in green. You were walking, talking circles around me. For the real thing. When you pick me up, never give it up. Seeing me all in green. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for running to me and for magnolia trees, honeybees for the seeing me on green. Now you woke up and so like you're free. For the songs that you sang, for the rain, counting summer days and pounding into the shading me, the lighting me, the catching Thank you for running to me and for magnolia trees, honeybees for the seeing me all in green. And I know it's trees in the rain, honeybees for the same. Thank you for loving me.
Thank you, Sonia, and a call to peace. I just want everyone to close your eyes for a minute. Take in a deep, slow breath and ask yourself the question, how different am I from when before I came into the room? I'd just like to say a few things. Having served as Malibu's Poet Laureate for the last couple of years, it's been a true gift. Hosting here today has topped it all off. And this will be the last event I host as Poet Laureate of Malibu, at least on this scale. And I do want to say, despite being more front and center as a face, this is absolutely, it's a collective effort, but it's also equally shared in effort by Rachel Hassall, my wife. So, thank you, Rachel. Rachel is at all the events, she is filming, she is editing. These things do not happen quickly. You might see them come up online, but they take so long, so much improvement. She took over my hosting duties one time when I was ill and stepped up and did it all. So, Rachel, thank you. You're great. So lastly, thank you to all of you that are here today, to all of our performers, from the band and to the poets and to the student poets. Thank you as well, and thank you for our wonderful audience. So I appreciate you all being here. There will be refreshments served out in the back, and if you are unsure what to talk about, maybe ask each other what you feel has transformed since when you first came in. Thank you, everyone. It's been great. Thank you. You're awesome. That was so good.